The story we tell, why chosen feels safer than ordinary. To understand why the cape is so hard to take off, we have to name the story stitched into it. Chosen promises what ordinary never did: safety, meaning, and a seat that can't be taken. When early life trained you to treat love as weather, hot, cold, gone without warning, claiming specialness isn't arrogance, it's insulation. It's a narrative shock absorber over old impacts of neglect and invisibility. Narcissistic ego compensation is a clinical way of saying the self builds extra padding where it once felt paper thin. The padding works until it starts to run your life. Here's the trade the body remembers. Ordinary feels replaceable. Replaceable rhymes with discardable. Chosen says irreplaceable. Irreplaceable sounds like secure attachment. If I'm the one who can see what others miss, I'm the one you won't risk losing. If I'm the protector, you'll keep me close. If I'm the healer, you'll need me. That's the control fantasy. Mastery over chaos by predicting, preventing, absorbing. It's a clever illusion of agency when real agency was scarce. Meanwhile, sacred language wraps the habit in holiness. Pain gets metabolized as purpose. I suffer because I'm called. I carry the room because I was made to. It's not that service is fake, it's that the duty gets moralized to. Protect the role. The rescuer reflex becomes righteousness. Saying no feels like betrayal. Rest feels like sin. You can hear the old house in the background. Don't relax, it's not safe, they're counting on you. This is where community steps in and quietly locks the door. Groups often reward what meets their needs. The one who senses tension before it sparks becomes the unofficial regulator. The one who reads grief becomes the circle's mirror. The one who'll answer the phone at 2 a.m. becomes the dependable spine. That's the shadow economy. Status traded for belonging, superiority traded for relief from shame. You're not above anyone. You're escaping the ache of feeling small. But there's a double bind baked in. If you abandon the role, do you lose the group? If you stop scanning, will people still want you without your early warning system? The scapegoat turned mystic feels this especially. Her value was once in naming what others denied. If she stops, does she slide back into invisibility? Attachment is at stake, not just reputation. No wonder the cape clings. Let's humanize this with a micro-story. Jonah grew up the youngest in a loud house, peace broker by age 9. In his 20s, he's the go-to fixer in his meditation community. He anticipates conflicts, smooths over slights, and gives language to unspoken tension. People call him grounded, wise, essential. When he tries to step back, sets one boundary, misses one late-night call, the gratitude thins, the check-ins fade. Panic flares. He redoubles his effort. The community sighs in relief. Jonah learns the cost of ordinary, less contact. He reinterprets it as proof that his destiny is service, not noticing it's also a workaround for belonging. Now, here's the hard, clean truth. The more you stabilize the role with moral language, the more you pay with your life. Burnout hides as devotion. Resentment hides as sacrifice. And the nervous system, starved for steady care, learns to feed on urgency instead. False positives multiply. You see danger sooner than anyone else because your body survives on being early. There's also a cultural layer worth naming. We live in a world that platformizes exception. Special gets clicks, steady gets ignored. Even spiritual spaces get algorithmic. The healer with the strongest claims pulls the room. The seer with the sharpest warning sets the tone. Ordinary care, consent, boundaries, mutuality, doesn't trend. But ordinary care is what nervous systems need to rewire. Precision without compulsion. Presence without surveillance. So how do we loosen the story without ripping out the meaning? We extract the function and retire the fantasy. Keep the precision and embodied attunement. They're real capacities. Drop the predictive mastery illusion that says you're safe only if you're indispensable. Swap destiny for values. I'm chosen becomes, I choose care with consent. That one word moves you from role to relationship. Here's where the depressive realism nuance helps. Sobriety about control isn't cynicism, it's an accurate map. You can sense early shifts and still accept that you don't control outcomes. You can name truth without owning other people's choices. When the cape is off, the compass works better. When urgency cools, discernment warms up. Expect backlash. The protector part of you will argue that ordinariness is death. It will pump louder images, raise moral alarms, and recruit allies who liked you best as a resource. Anticipating this is part of the path. You don't debate the siren, you downshift first. Then you renegotiate belonging. Ask for relationships that value you when you're not performing. Sort communities by practice, not praise, who has repair norms, reciprocity ratios, and ask-before-scan agreements. One more micro-moment. Lila leads breathwork groups. She used to walk in scanning the room, picking the person who hurt most, and pouring herself into them. The group adored her. She went home empty. After months of regulation first, she tried a different opening. I won't scan without permission. If you want attunement today, raise a hand. The session felt quieter, less dramatic. Fewer thanks. But 3 people sent messages later about how safe they felt. Lila didn't get the cape high. She got something steadier. Trust she didn't have to earn with exhaustion. Chosen feels safer than ordinary because it once was. But safety built on compulsion collapses under its own weight. The new safety is smaller and sturdier. It sounds like this: I keep my compass. I drop the cape. I choose service with consent. I belong for who I am when nothing urgent. Map of origin wounds. For gateways to chosen one. To change the pattern, we trace where it learned to run. 4 gateways tend to funnel people into the chosen role. Each carries a body baseline, a set of beliefs and predictable triggers that flip sensitivity into duty. Gateway 1, parentification, usefulness equals worth. The scene: you're small and the house is big, so you make it quieter. Meals appear because you noticed first. Arguments dissolve because you mediated early. The body baseline is sympathetic. Rev easily, settle slowly. Rest feels like an exposed shoulder. The belief is simple: if I'm not helpful, I'm a liability. Predictable triggers: other people's confusion, silence, and fatigue. Ambiguity reads like danger, because ambiguity once came before impact. Alarm here often dresses up as intuition that says, they need me now, when what's happening is you can't tolerate the space between stimulus and resolution. A micro-moment from this gate. Matteo, 32, runs meetings like a bodyguard. If someone hesitates, he fills the gap. If someone sighs, he solves for them. He calls it flow. His therapist calls it anticipation at the cost of consent. After he starts practicing the 2-beat wait, a colleague answers their own question. Matteo's jaw unclenches. His belief flickers. Maybe I'm valuable when I don't rescue. Gateway 2, enmeshment, fusion mistaken for empathy. The scene: feelings shared a bloodstream. Your joy was theirs, their rage was yours. You learned to leave your body to live in someone else's. Baseline: porous interoception. You sense a wave, but can't tell whose ocean it is. The belief: closeness means merging. Boundaries are threats. Predictable triggers: disagreement, distance, and self-focus. The system flags separate as unsafe. Alarm pretends to be intuition by insisting, I know what they feel, and acting without asking. Consent becomes optional because connection feels like oxygen you're willing to steal to breathe. A micro-moment from this gate. Priya texts 3 check-ins when her partner goes quiet after a long day. She frames it as care. He experiences it as surveillance. When she tries ask before scan, do you want company, questions, or quiet? He says quiet and thanks her later. The signal she used to crown as truth turns out to be a guess. Empathy survives, fusion loosens. Gateway 3, scapegoating, seeing the unseen to survive. The scene: truth-telling got you exiled. You noticed the slurred words, the missed paychecks, the bruise explained as clumsiness. When naming it brought heat, you learned to see from the edges. Outsider became identity. Baseline: vigilant clarity with a loneliness undertow. The belief: if I don't name it, no one will. If I don't carry it, it will crush us. Predictable triggers: gaslighting, denial, and groupthink. Alarm here wears a prophet's robe. This will go bad unless I intervene. It says, and sometimes it's right. The confusion comes when your prediction creates pressure that makes the very outcome you feared more likely. A micro-moment from this gate. Tessa sits in a non-profit board meeting. She senses avoidance around budget shortfalls. Old training flares: speak now, or everyone pays later. She runs a 1 first, 3 breaths, jaw soft. Then she asks a consent question. Is this the right moment to name a financial risk I see? The chair says yes. She lands her point cleanly. No exile. Truth-telling, with permission, becomes belonging. Gateway 4, gifted misattunement, overfit to subtle cues. The scene: you were good at patterns, bad at being seen. Adults clapped for outcomes and missed your overwhelm. Precision was praised, regulation ignored. Baseline: high acuity, low recovery. The belief: I'm prized for what I produce, not how I am. Predictable triggers: complexity without time. praise that hints at expectations, and any stage that invites performance. Alarm frames urgency as excellence. If I can see it fast, I should move fast. The gift, identity fuses with identity. So tools that slow you down feel like threats to who you are. A micro moment from this gate. Aaron leads a product sprint. He spots a flaw instantly. Instead of directing, he tries a delay fix. Flagged one potential issue. I'll drop details in 20 after a walk. He steps out, breathes, returns with a cleaner ask. The team solves it without him scripting every move. He keeps precision, drops compulsion. Let's put the markers side by side. Parentification carries guilt when resting and interprets others' fatigue as requests. Enmeshment confuses empathy with ownership and struggles to hear no without personal collapse. Scapegoating pairs clarity with isolation and overweights the cost of silence, underweights consent. Gifted misattunement overindexes on pattern acuity and underinvests in recovery, seeing speed as moral. Each gateway carries signature confusions of alarm with intuition. Parentification hears latency as failure and rushes. Enmeshment hears boundaries as abandonment and fuses. Scapegoating hears denial as moral emergency and escalates. Gifted misattunement hears pacing as mediocrity and accelerates. Why map this? Because precision without context becomes compulsion. When you know your origin gate, you know your predictable errors under load. You can anticipate the trigger, run regulation first, and choose a different move without betraying your history. Here's the bridge to extraction. We're not ripping identities off the wall. We're returning functions to their right size. The parentified part learns rest without guilt. The enmeshed part learns consented attunement. The scapegoat part learns truth with timing. The gifted part learns that excellence includes recovery. The compass stays sharp. The cape gets retired. Next, we'll build the 4 a protocol to meet each gate where it lives. Downshift first, rewrite the meaning, rehearse micro-exits, and renegotiate relationships so your nervous system isn't earning love through early warning anymore. The extraction kit, overview for a protocol, regulate, reframe, repattern, relate. We've mapped the gates. Now we build exits you can actually walk. For moves, always in order, regulate, reframe, repattern, relate. Think of them as a clutch, a map, a drill, and a treaty. You shift the state, rename the story, rehearse a different move, then renegotiate the field you play on. And yes, the siren will argue. That's why order matters. Interpretation before downshift is a prophecy machine. A1, regulate. Downshift arousal before interpreting signals. We're not cooling your gift, we're clearing the channel. Start with a 90-second reset you can run anywhere. 3 rounds. Inhale through the nose for 4, hold for 2, exhale through pursed lips for 6. On the exhale, unclench your jaw and let your eyes widen to peripheral. Then orient. Name 5 sounds, 5 colors, 5 textures in the room. Finally, a mini CO2 tolerance test. Slow exhale to the end of comfort, sip in a small breath, and hold for 2 seconds before inhaling normally. It builds tolerance, so a tight chest stops masquerading as truth. Stack vagal cues if you need more. Hum for 1 minute, splash cool water, or press your tongue to the back of your top teeth to downshift facial tension. You're not negotiating with anxiety. You're changing your physiology, so your cortex can read straight. R2, reframe. Rename the gift as a learned survival capacity. Precision, not destiny. Say it plain. My system scans deeply under pressure. That's a skill I can choose to use. This breaks the handcuff between identity and urgency. We also decode narcissistic ego compensation here. Not as shame, as engineering. Specialness, padded where self-worth felt thin. We retire padding. We don't throw out worth. Use cognitive diffusion. Instead of, I am the protector, try, I'm noticing a protector story. Separate parts. Protector, who hates surprise. Witness, who holds context, values, who chooses pace. Ask 3 reframes. What was this built to protect? What still works? What cost is too high now? R3, repattern. Behavior teaches the nervous system faster than insight. We run micro-exposures to uncertainty and non-rescue. Design 1% disobedience to the rescuer reflex. Answer the text in 20 minutes instead of 2. Let the silence sit for a 2-beat wait before offering a fix. Ask, do you want ideas or simply presence? And honor presence only. Try delay fixes. Flag received, I'll circle back after lunch. You're not withholding care. You're teaching your body that relief can arrive without sprinting. Pre-commit to scripts and exit cues when you're calm, so alarm doesn't write your lines. And track vitality swaps, sleep quality, evening energy, irritability at 5 p.m. If non-rescue returns your life force, you've got proof bigger than the siren. Our 4 relate. Private drills stall in extractive ecosystems. We set mutuality contracts, so your nervous system isn't earning belonging through surveillance. 3 agreements. Reciprocity ratios. For every deep listen you give, you ask for one in a set window. Check-in cadences. No open tabs. Agree on when and how often you connect. Repair norms. You don't fix alone. Both people own rupture and agree on how to name it. Boundary language must be specific, behavioral, time-bound. I'm available today from 3 to 3:30 for brainstorming. Afterward, I'm offline. No vague spiritual duty clauses like, I'll always be there. Consent rules your attention. Ask before scan becomes standard. Do you want my read? And you treat no as connection, not rejection. Sort community by practice, not praise. Do they ask permission? Do they do repair? Do they accept later, without moralizing? Guardrails hold the whole kit. First, no spiritual bypass. You don't call dysregulation a calling to avoid discomfort. Second, no self-gaslighting. We validate that your body learned fast for good reasons. We just stop letting urgency be the only evidence we trust. Third, never interpret in sympathetic overdrive. If breath is high, jaw braced, and imagery spiky, you're early. Run a 1, then decide. Let's apply the 4 to each gateway in 1 breath each. Parentification. Regulate the reflex to move first. Reframe worth beyond usefulness. Repattern with 2-beat weights. Relate with reciprocity contracts so your value isn't measured in anticipations. Enmeshment. Regulate until you can feel edges. Reframe empathy as attunement with permission. Repattern with ask before scan. Relate with agreements that protect separate nervous systems. Scapegoating. Regulate before naming. Reframe truth-telling as timing plus consent. Repattern with consent questions in meetings. Relate by joining groups that prize repair over heroics. Gifted misattunement. Regulate the speed high. Reframe excellence to include recovery. Repattern with delay fixes and time-box problem-solving. Relate by choosing teams that respect pacing. Here's a micro-story that threads them. Cam, a therapist known for seeing through people, used to leave sessions spun up, writing late-night notes she called downloads. She tried 4R, a 1 between sessions, 90 seconds of breath, and orienting before writing. R2, my system scans deeply. I choose when to use it. R3, delay notes by 20 minutes, then write with jaw soft, ask clients. Want reflections now or next time? R4, set a contract with her group practice. No unscheduled consults after 6. Monthly repair circles for clinicians. 3 months in, her sleep returned, her notes got clearer, and her urge to prove her value by being first faded. She kept precision. She lost compulsion. We'll pressure test all of this in a 7-day separation lab. But for now, hold the order. State, then story, then small experiments, then social agreements. That's how sensitivity becomes choice, and choice becomes trust.